I work out. I really don't want to hammer on a project. I hammer on the project. Now, as an overall rule, I do not like procrastination. You need to get things done. But if you are going to rest, that is one thing that you should procrastinate on. That's the one thing I want you to put off until tomorrow. Now, these could be signals that you need some time off. And those signals might be right. They could be correct. But don't take today off.
Woo, man, what's good with you? This is Algernon Hall, aka the Dream Catcher, the Dream Coach, man. I'm ecstatic, I'm excited, man. I hope you're charged up, man. It's Inspirational Wednesdays, and we're back, and we just keep continuing on this unstoppable journey to pursue and to awaken our dreams. I hope you're excited. I hope you're ready for a phenomenal talk. Just a talk, man, that just really just came up with, man. But just the thought, the foundation of this talk has been with me for the last week or so. Today I want to talk to you about I see it. 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 What do you see? Well, if you're thinking like me, if you're wired like me, you see that vision, that idea, that dream. You see it every day. You see it in your dreams. You see it when you're lying in bed in the dark. You see it when you get up. You see it if you're in the midst of a job that you're not really happy. You see it every day when you're doing things that you know that don't fall in line with your gifts, with your talents and abilities. You see it. You see that thing. You see yourself doing great things. You see yourself operating in a different level. You see yourself just living your full potential. You see yourself happy. You see yourself providing. You see yourself earning. You see yourself winning. You see it. You see it. So that's what today's talk is going to be about. It's going to be a short talk. It's going to be about what we see. It's going to be talking about our mindset. It's going to be talking about, staying in tune with what we see, what we've been shown in our dreams by God. What we see as far as what we've put on paper, as far as what we want to accomplish. What do we see? I see it. The first thing that I really want to talk about is I want to talk about commit. Type commit in the chat. Type commit in the comment section right now. Commit. Say it with me. Commit. And what we got to understand and what we got to realize is that a growth mindset at some point translates into a breakthrough. A growth mindset at some point translates into a breakthrough. And if we really see it, we got to commit from going from one side to the other side. We got to commit to that thing. Again, we got to commit from going to one side that's barren, that's not growing anything, and commit to evolving, commit to growing, commit to being better than we were yesterday, today. We got to commit. And through that, us committing, we can have breakthrough. We got a shot of breakthrough. We got a shot of connecting to that thing that we see. We got a shot of connecting to that thing that we say that we want, that we're praying for, that we're believing for. We got a shot. But we have to commit to having a growth mindset. Not only having a growth mindset, but working towards those things. It's the first point. The second point is going to blow your mind. And I saw this second point, this image. Shout out to Ali Jagar, International Ali, my man, AV Valley, what most of us know him by. This image was up on his Facebook, and it hit me. It hit me hard. And what this just really simplifies is our beginnings. What this simplifies is where we need to start. When we see something, not being embarrassed by where we start, not being intimidated where we start, but starting and embracing it and perfecting small beginnings. I mean, look at this, man. Apple out of a garage, Google out of a garage, Amazon out of a garage, Harley out of a shack, Disney out of a shed, Mattel, a small storefront. We got to embrace and perfect our small beginnings. Why I say embrace it? Because we got to make that, after we commit, we got to make a decision to walk into it, right? But when I say perfect, I think about, if Steve Jobs was concerned about where he was, would he even have been able to perfect the Apple products? Let me think about that. Bill Gates, if he was concerned about where he was working out of, would he been able to perfect what he was building? We got to ask ourselves, are we caught up with where we are right now? We got to understand that our small beginnings, that's our training ground. Our small beginnings, that's our process. Our small beginnings, that's how we obtain progress. I want to share some thoughts because, I want to talk about failure for a second. And I think we really got to understand that failure is cool. I mean, no, we don't like to fail, but failure is a part of the process. Failure is a part of us growing. Failure is a part of us embracing and seeing how we need to get better or what we need to tweak or how we need to go harder to connect to what we see. And when I was writing these things down, like I said, the only reason I'm saying this now is because I don't want to miss a thought. I get so excited when I get in front of this camera. I don't want to miss out. And I just really want to, what was shared with me at 5:40 in the morning. And it was about failure. And the thought was, you're not a failure because you failed. We become failures when we quit. And how many of us have failed because we're looking at where we are and we think that that's it? It has nothing to do with what we see, but because of where we are, we're so intimidated, we're so wrapped up, we're so unsatisfied with where we are, that rather than working to pull ourselves out and grinding to move forward, we quit. So when you fail, you're not a failure. You're a failure when you quit. You're not a failure because you fail. You're a failure when you quit. When you decide that I can't do this no more. When you decide that I don't have what it takes. When you decide that I can't go anymore, that I'm not going to do this, that's when you're a failure. That's why marriages fail. That's why businesses fail. That's why relationships fail. That's why corporations fail. It's because they quit. And failure is a part of our process. Listen, failure, when we experience failure, when we are open to failing, right? Open. Think about that. I got to be open to failing. What does that mean? That, you know what, no matter what, I want this thing so bad. I see this thing that I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep getting denied. I'm going to keep getting no's. I'm going to keep getting turned down. I'm going to keep losing friends. I see it. Failure makes you a believer. Because when you see a particular thing, you don't stop. When you see a particular thing, you're relentless with how you go about those things. You see it, and you know what? I don't care if nobody else see it. I see it. It's important to me. It's my goal. It's my vision. It's my idea. It's my dream. So I see it. So that makes you a believer. Failure also makes you a dream chaser because if you continue to fail, you can identify yourself as a dream chaser because you're failing, but you're all about catching this thing. You're all about achieving this thing. You're all about meeting and accomplishing that particular goal. The last thing I wrote down was failure makes you conscious. Makes you conscious work in progress because you're trying. Failure identifies that you are conscious. You're a conscious work in progress because you're trying. We're a work in progress. If we think about it and we identify and we don't just connect to everybody that we Google and we look at their success and we look at the results and we look at what they've built, but do we look at where it all started? Do we look at the failures? Do we look at How many times they've been turned down for loans, for business opportunities? Do we look at that? Do we look at the fact that Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper because they said that he lacked imagination? Do we look at that? Or are we just looking at the fruits of his labor? Are we just looking at Disney World and Disneyland and looking at all the products? What are we looking at? What do we see? Because I tell you that what they saw and what Walt Disney saw and what Steve Jobs saw, it was totally different than what the world saw. So that made them a conscious work in progress. And the last thing is, failure is because we're stretching and not giving up. Failure makes a believer. Failure makes a dream chaser. Failure makes a person that's a conscious work in progress continue to stretch because of what they see. They're not giving up. They understand that the failure is part of it. They understand that the struggle is part of it. They understand that their work in progress, that's part of it. They understand that that's part of them. They're overcoming and training. They understand that evolving into something extraordinary. So we got to embrace and perfect our small beginnings, because by us perfecting it in 2021, by us perfecting it in the middle of this year, by us perfecting it in 2022, what we're doing is we're logging in hours. What we're doing is we're perfecting our craft. What we're doing is we're growing in confidence, and we're growing in knowledge, and we're growing in influence. And what we're doing is we're moving closer and closer to what we see. We can't despise our small beginnings. We can't. We cannot despise our small beginnings. And the last thing is, once we start to gain momentum and once we start to move forward and connecting to what we see, we have to understand that we cannot stop. You 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 cannot stop with what you see. You cannot stop. You got to commit and you got to make a conscious effort, because you're a conscious work in progress, that you got to keep going and connecting to what you see. A growth mindset translates to breakthrough. We got to understand that us having a growth mindset is that we're building every day, every minute, every hour, every week, every month, getting closer and closer to our ideas, our dreams, and our visions, and what we see. You can't stop. You cannot stop. Breakthrough is not a result of quitting. Breakthrough is not a result of stopping. Breakthrough is not a result of fear, allowing fear to dominate you. Breakthrough is not a result of a person that's operating and moving in doubt. Breakthrough is not. But breakthrough is a result of a person that is committed not to stop. Not to let people, not to make places, not to let things hold them back. And more importantly, not to let themselves derail them from pursuing their ideas. No, not pursuing, achieving their ideas, their visions, and their dreams. Don't stop. Don't stop. Type don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Your family's depending on you. Don't stop. You've been working too hard on this thing. Don't stop. You've been writing the plan down, the business plan down. Don't stop. You've already started moving towards this particular thing. Don't let little turbulence knock you off course. Don't stop. You've been talking about it. You've been praying about it. You've been fasting about it. I mean, you've already been talking to people about it. You've already invested resources into it. Don't stop. We got to get this thing, and we got to understand that what we see has value, what we see has purpose, and what we see is what we were called to do and to operate in. Don't stop. Recap. Let's think about this thing. Let's really just drill down and really just think about what we need to apply, what we need to keep in mind moving forward. What do we need to do to connect with what we see? We got to commit. Commit to it. Commit to it. You're married to it. It's your child. It's your baby. You birthed this particular thing, or you are conceived currently with this vision, this gift, this idea, this dream. Commit to it. Commit that you're going to take care of it. Commit that you're going to provide everything that it needs to grow and to evolve into what it is to be and become. Commit that you're going to take care of it, that you're going to protect it, and commit that you're going to do everything possible to make sure that that vision, that dream, that idea contributes in the world in a profound way. 2, we need to embrace and perfect small beginnings, our small beginnings. And it's cool if you're working out your home. It's cool if you don't actually have a website. It's cool. It's cool if you don't have employees yet. Don't despite your small beginnings. If you're a one-man show, grind. If you're working out the crib, grind. Don't despise your small beginnings. Perfect them. Perfect them. Perfect them so you can grow. Perfect them so you can evolve. Perfect them so you can move into the next stage or the next phase so you can go closer and closer to what you see. And last but not least, don't stop. Get it, don't stop. Get it, don't stop. Don't stop. Keep pushing, keep grinding. You're going to fall, you're going to fail, you're going to be hurt, you're going to get rejections, but don't stop. Don't stop. Keep moving forward. Connect to what you see, that idea, that vision, that dream. That's what you were called and purposed to do. Don't stop. Don't stop. Call to action. Look, man, I see it. I like it. If you liked it, like it, share it. If you feel like commenting on it, if it blessed you, if it empowered you, let me know how it inspired you. Let me know how it motivated you. I would love to hear from you. Last but not least, if you're not following me, you can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at Algernon_Hall. I'm also on Facebook at Algernon Hall. If you have any needs for any type of professional development, professional talks with staff, with your team, students at schools, colleges, you can get at me at info@algernonhall.com. Also, feel free to go over and subscribe to Dream Catchers at Algernon Hall. There's some great content there, some great motivational content, inspirational content that I know will bless you and inspire you to keep pushing forward. And last but not least, I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face, man, and I mean it. It's time for us to dream, to believe, and make history. God willing, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Be extraordinary. And remember, keep stretching until you connect to what you see. Peace.
To be that guy that does what people say can't be done, you know? And I think it started with trying to please my mother and trying to please my grandmother, and they always wanted higher for me. They always wanted more for me. And it got to the point that I wanted to be something. I wanted to be somebody. And it made me choose certain roles. It made me turn down certain roles. There is more than an image that I want to project. I want to be the person that is the first person there and the last person to leave. That's who I want to be, because I think that the road to success is through commitment and through the strength to drive through that commitment when it gets hard. And it is going to get hard, and you're going to want to quit sometimes, but it'll be colored by who you are and more who you want to be. I definitely found that wanting to be an actor stems from wanting to be somebody.